What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Friday, February 5th, 2021. We're here for another episode of the Casual Fan Podcast, the original, hardest working, most accurate, most entertaining sports gambling podcast on YouTube. My name is Pat Stothers, your host and commentator, and in this video, we are going to talk about all the results from the past couple of days. We're going to talk about the things that I told you would happen that did happen. We're going to talk about all the most electric moments, the most devastating moments, what we learned from the teams in the past couple of days, and get right into predictions for this weekend. 16 games starting on Friday night. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. I appreciate all your support. And to those of you who have reached out and sent me your support, you guys are the real ones. I really appreciate it. Keep it coming. We're gonna grow this thing. We're gonna send it right to the top. Cheers. Let's take a look at the results from the past couple of days. Wednesday, I went a nice 2-0. The Boston Bruins got the win. The Tampa Bay Lightning won by -1.5, like I told you guys. And Braden Point scored a goal, which I did mention. Stamkos didn't get the goal, but that's okay. Overall, pretty good night. Now, what I noticed at the end of that night is that the previous day I went 8-0, and then that day I went 2-0, which brought me to 10-0 over 2 days, which is scary as a gambler. I kind of knew that a tidal wave would be coming at some point, and it arrived in a big way. On Thursday night, underdogs went 7-1 across the league. You just can't account for that. That's Vegas cleaned up on Thursday night because 7 underdogs won. The only game I got right was the Leafs, and that's absolutely devastating. The Montreal Canadiens, who are fighting for first place in the North Division, laid an egg against the Ottawa Senators, who are one of the worst teams in the league. Now, I don't want to get discouraged because going 1-7 the night before bodes well for my night tonight. And also, this isn't a reason to dislike hockey or betting on hockey. If anything, this is a reason to love hockey. The underdog is a real play in this sport. There are no super teams. There is no one player, LeBron James, Tom Brady, going to the championship every year. Hockey is true parity, and you can count on teams like the Senators to pull off amazing wins once in a while. Any given Sunday, any given night in hockey, how about any given period? I've seen far too many 3-goal leads get erased in a matter of seconds. That's what's beautiful about the game of hockey. So adding in the last 2 days, my overall record improves to 94-62. Still hovering right around that 60% mark, so I'm good with that. So let's get into ATODASO. All the things that I got right that I told you would happen, that did happen. Number one, I told you that the Tampa Bay Lightning would beat the Detroit Red Wings by at least 1.5 goals, and they did. I also mentioned that Braden Point would score a goal, and he did. Now on Thursday, I told you in probably the least confident way that the Canucks and the Leafs game would go over, but it did. And pretty much everything else I told you on Thursday was dead wrong. So what were some of the most electric moments from the past couple of days? Number one happened on Wednesday. David Pastrnak for the Boston Bruins scores a hat trick, scores an unbelievable through the legs, beats the defender, walks in, sneaks the puck into the net. The guy is an absolute weapon, and now that he's back for the Bruins, they're playing on a different level. Their team was sort of a question mark at the beginning of the season. Now that Pasternak's back, they are still good. Losing Chara and Krug hasn't really seemed to affect them that much. That entire game was back and forth action. The Flyers played a great game too. It just happened that Bergeron tipped one in overtime and took it. That is a great series between those two teams. On Thursday, Jonathan Huberdeau scored a hat trick for the Panthers in a crazy back and forth high scoring game with the Predators. And Jason Spezza scored a hat trick, 37 years old, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mississauga, Ontario boy, in a blowout over the Vancouver Canucks. Another electric moment, Patrick Laine buries his first goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Congrats to Patrick Laine. I think the Columbus Blue Jackets could start playing well if he's scoring, if everyone's scoring and playing well. Yesterday was a pretty unpredictable day as far as hockey goes. The games I thought would go under went over, the teams I thought would win would lose, and it just all went bad at some point right off the beginning of the night. If I was to blame anything, it would have to be the Montreal Canadiens doing this Bizarro World jersey. I think the jerseys look beautiful, but it just seemed to make their team lose against the Ottawa Senators. You could say the exact same thing about these Blues jerseys. Now those Rangers jerseys, mint. Those are the nicest jerseys of all the alternate ones. Maybe the Coyotes, but those Rangers jerseys, ooh, I want one. So what were some of those devastating moments of the past couple of days? Number one, the Montreal Canadiens. They let 2 goals in really quickly against the Ottawa Senators, and that was the bet I was most sure of, that I had the most money on, and it did not come through. And that's the way she goes sometimes. You know what? We're gonna bounce back. If that happened, tonight we're probably gonna get some good luck happening. So that's the way I'm gonna look at it. Watching a bunch of underdogs win games and you don't have money on them is one of the most hurtful feelings, because not only are your favorites not gonna win, you didn't get very good value on the bet either. You could have cashed in on all those underdogs. It's very strange because on Tuesday, the favorites went 8-0, and then on Thursday, the favorites went 1-7. So it's kind of interesting how it goes back and forth like that. Probably should have seen that coming as a gambling show. So what did we learn over the past couple of days? Well, number one, the Canucks are better than the Senators. The Habs are better than the Canucks, but the Senators are better than the Habs. Not really, it was just an off game for the Montreal Canadiens, but you gotta win that one. You gotta win that one. What else did we learn? Rangers have been playing pretty good recently since getting rid of, what's his face? Igor Shesterkin is the real deal in net, and I think their defense has been limiting a lot of chances. So I think the Rangers, they might still be underdogs for the next little bit, but I think they're a good team to start betting on. And another thing we learned, you can't get too high or too low in this game. It's a real life lesson. When a team is hot and scoring goals and winning all these games, you can't start to believe that they're gonna win every game. Similarly, you can't count the Ottawa Senators or the Arizona Coyotes out every game. When you play a team 3 times in a row, you start to learn tendencies, and it's hard to get the complete sweep. There are teams that should be able to do it, like the Lightning against the Red Wings or the Canadiens against the Senators, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. But that's okay, you get back on the horse, you make another bet on another day. It's a real life lesson in there. All right, so let's get to our stay away games for the weekend, which games I am not gonna touch because there's no way to predict the outcome. Starting with Friday night, you have the Bruins and the Flyers. This is gonna be a terrific game. I'm not sure that I'm gonna play it. If I was gonna take anything, it would be the over-under or for the game to go to overtime because the Bruins love overtime. Both these teams can score. Both these teams are tight-checking hockey teams. They have good goaltenders. It's very difficult to predict this game. It could go over or under or either way, so I'd probably stay away. Or take the over because it's a fun game. Red Wings and Lightning is a keeper. Underdogs can win. I'm gonna ride the Lightning here. Predators and Panthers, total stay away game. These are coin flip teams. It just went over last night. They might be burnt out on scoring goals. They might have adjusted defensively. Stay away. Kings and Golden Knights, this should be a Golden Knights win. It should also be an under game, depending who's playing in net for both teams. I would lean towards Golden Knights and the under in this one. Sharks and Ducks, another stay away game for me. I'm really not sure what will happen. If I had to lean, I'd probably take the Sharks. Now on Saturday, I am gonna keep this Canadiens and Senators game. I'm gonna get rid of this Coyotes and Blues game because the Coyotes just stole one and they could steal another one. Penguins and Islanders could be a fun game, but I really don't know who to pick. I'm probably gonna stay away from it. Canucks and Leafs, I'm gonna keep for now. Depending on how the first Sharks and Ducks game, I'm gonna keep this second Sharks and Ducks game. I'm interested in this Oilers and Flames game for sure. And then you have 4 postponed games due to COVID, which is pretty terrible. And I hope the NHL locks it down and all these players start taking care of it because I want the season to continue and I want to keep watching hockey. Now on Sunday, you got the Flyers and the Capitals. This should be a barn burner. I like the over in it. I'm not sure which way I'm gonna lean, but probably the Flyers right now. Keeping this game, but I'll talk more about it in a sec. Kings and Golden Knights, keep it. Probably gonna take the Golden Knights once again. Stars and Hawks, staying away for now. The Hawks have been scoring recently. The team looks fast and feisty. Dallas just took a loss to the Blue Jackets. Just gonna stay away for now. Panthers or Red Wings, I really do like the Panthers in this one. They did have a couple close games against the Red Wings just earlier this week, but I think the Panthers are just good enough that they're gonna pull out the win against the Red Wings every time. Hurricanes and Jackets, staying away, completely staying away. Jackets got Laine, he scored his first goal. Could be a decent team. In the last 2 games, the Blues, the Avalanche, and the Coyotes and the Wild are postponed due to COVID. Wild had an outbreak and the Avalanche had an outbreak. All right, so let's get into predictions for the weekend. Starting with Friday night of the remaining games, the Boston Bruins as minus 130 favorites against the Philadelphia Flyers as plus 110 underdogs. The Philadelphia Flyers are a very good team this year. It's gonna be Carter Hart against Tuukka Rask, but the Bruins are absolutely on fire. I expect this to be an over game. The over is 5-2 in the Bruins' last 7 overall. It's 8-3 in the Flyers' last 11 overall. The over is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings in Philadelphia. It's 5-2 in the Flyers' last 7 home games. And it's 13-6 in the Flyers' last 19 against teams with winning records. This is an over game. It should be goals galore. Up next, you have the Detroit Red Wings as plus 295 underdogs against the Tampa Bay Lightning as minus 365 favorites. In this one, I gotta go with the Tampa Bay Lightning again. I'm probably gonna go with them in regulation or minus 1.5 again. The Detroit Red Wings are still without Tyler Bertuzzi, who's one of their only scorers. So they're roster is just not deep enough. They really only have like one line that's capable of keeping up with the NHL. Now this Kings and Vegas Golden Knights game, I'm not actually gonna take the favorite. I'm gonna look at the Los Angeles Kings as an underdog here. Kings are 7-2 in their last 9 against a team with a winning record. The underdog, the Kings, have been 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these teams. However, the Vegas Golden Knights just lost and they'll probably bounce back and win tonight. So it is a bit of a stay away game for me, but I do like the value on the Kings. Okay, now for Saturday, starting at 1 p.m., you have the rematch between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. I am once again going to take the Montreal Canadiens at minus 1.5. And you might be asking yourself, Pat, you just lost big on the Montreal Canadiens who blew the game against the Ottawa Senators. What are you, some kind of moron? And the answer to that is maybe. But the other answer to that is, what are the odds of the Montreal Canadiens dropping 2 games against this terrible Senators team? That last game was definitely probably a wake-up call for them. So I would imagine they win this one and win big. In the last video, I did say that the Ottawa Senators were due to at least keep one close because they were getting blown out in every single game. But now I'm gonna get back on the horse. I'm gonna double down on the Montreal Canadiens and I'm gonna hammer them at -1.5 and they're gonna win it on Sunday. Up next, you have the Vancouver Canucks as +155 underdogs against the Toronto Maple Leafs as -195 favorites. Toronto Maple Leafs are riding pretty high right now. They're getting scoring from their top players. Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews are on fire. I gotta give those guys credit where they're due. They take a lot of heat when they're not playing well because they make a lot of money, but right now they are playing worth every dollar of their contracts, and I don't want to hear any different from anyone else. Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews are great. This is a season for the Maple Leafs that might be one where they do a little bit of damage. Last year, people were talking about Stanley Cups before the team even hit the ice. We didn't get a full season with Sheldon Keefe. This is a season where the Leafs might sneak under the radar and actually go pretty far in the playoffs. You didn't hear me say it. No one else talk about it. Don't say it or it'll go right to their heads. Keep your mouth shut about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but they're playing pretty well right now. I'm going to take them in this game. I'm also going to take the over. And the last game on Saturday, you got the Edmonton Oilers as +104 underdogs against the Calgary Flames as -125 favorites. I personally like the value on the Oilers in this game. I might live to regret those words, but I like the ability of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to set up their teammates for goals. I'm not sure about the Flames yet. They beat the Canadiens somehow, but they dropped games against the Jets. I think the Oilers could steal one, but I think the Flames might also have the Oilers' number. It's a bit of a stay away game. I'm willing to take a prop bet of Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl to score a goal, as I am in every Oilers game. Now on Sunday, you have the Philadelphia Flyers against the Washington Capitals. Flyers are going to be coming off a very tough series against the Boston Bruins and then facing a Capitals team who's also very tough. This could lead to one of two things: them answering the bell and coming out firing against the Capitals after playing to an elite level against the Bruins, or they could be tired and banged up and exhausted and lose to the Capitals. I'm willing to bet that the Flyers are good enough to take this one. The Caps have been struggling a little bit. I think this will be an over game. I think both teams will be able to score quite a bit. And then in game 2 between the Knights and the Kings, see how game 1 goes. If the Kings look good, if they're right in it, stay away. If it's a slaughter for the Vegas Golden Knights, I'd probably take them again in this game. So without further ado, these are my official picks, who I think is going to win and who I think is going to lose over the weekend. 16 games starting with Friday night. Give me the Bruins Lightning, Panthers Knights Sharks. On Saturday, I'm taking Canadiens Blues, Penguins Leafs Sharks Oilers. And on Sunday, Flyers Golden Knights, Stars Panthers Hurricanes. That's it. That's who I think is going to win. Pick a couple of these teams and make a parlay. I went 1 for 7 yesterday. I went 10-0 the days before that. So this weekend's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, hopefully on the winning side. So my official bets, this is what I'm going to take. When I win, you win. When you lose, I lose. I'm actually going to put money on all of these bets. Number 1, I'm going to take the Bruins and the Flyers over. I'm going to take the Lightning -1.5 again. And I'm going to sprinkle some money on the Kings as an underdog. I'm not going heavy on that one. On Saturday, I'm learning my lesson and doubling down on the Montreal Canadiens at -1.5 over the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to take the Toronto Maple Leafs to beat the Vancouver Canucks. I'm also going to take the over in that game. And I'm going to sprinkle some money on the Oilers as an underdog. Don't go heavy on that one either. Probably take McDavid or Draisaitl to score a goal as well on a prop bet. Now on Sunday, the 3 games I'm going to play is the Flyers and Capitals over. I'm going to take the Knights in the second game if they lose or if they win, but if it goes to overtime, I'm going to stay away. And I'm going to take the Panthers against the Red Wings. I'll probably end up parlaying just the Panthers and the Golden Knights in a 2-team parlay. So that's it. That's it for me. That's what I think. All the latest, greatest NHL action around the league, all the results, all the electric moments, everything I told you that I got right, and all the predictions for the weekend. If you're following along, if you're listening, thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. Please tell your friends. Let me know in the comments what you like, what you hate, what bets you win on. Let's win some money. Let's have some good luck. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Cheers.